Okay, so what up, y'all? It's your man Abuamerican with this crazy echo in the car. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It really bothers me, man. It's like really echoey. So, just so you know, man, that's disturbing. Is that feedback? Is it like feedback over the speakers? I don't know what it is. I just started making these videos because I drive a lot. I do about 4,000 kilometers a month on the road for my job. It's a lot. And so, yeah. I figured I'd do something with the time, which is listening to the news. And sometimes there's hiccups. Like my camera was on slow motion, so I recorded an entire video this morning, and it didn't have audio. Being in slow motion isn't bad, but not having audio is bad, because I could just speed it up until it's normal speed, and then I'd had a whole video, but, you know, whatever. So I missed the news. So I think this might be the same news. They seem to be a day behind because it's U.S. news. But if you have something you want me to react to, it doesn't have to be the news, let me know, and I'll try and do it on the road. Don't ask me to like review like deep videos where I gotta watch something. I'm driving, so I can't do that. But if you want to hear something in specific, or you want to hear my opinions and my takes, my crazy opinions and takes, and just my rants on this stuff, I'm here for it. So let's get into this news.
Across the US, including... Hi, I'm Kim Vinnell in Wanganui, New Zealand. It's Wednesday, November 5th. Today,
it's Thursday, November 6th.
Democrats sweep to victory in elections across the US, including making Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani mayor-elect of New York.
Predictable.
And Brazil's President Lula da Silva deals with the fallout of a major drug cartel sting, which left bodies in the streets as the country prepares to welcome world leaders.
Whose bodies is the question?
This is Reuters World News, bringing you everything you need to know from the front lines in 10 minutes, 7 days a week. The results are in.
I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
Across the US, voters turned to Democrats, who swept a trio of races seen as a litmus test of President Donald Trump's second term. The three major winners all made standing up to the president a core theme of their campaigns, including the Democratic candidate for the most high-profile race, the now mayor-elect of New York City, Zoran Mamdani. 34-year-old Mamdani beat Andrew Cuomo in an election which saw the highest voter turnout since the 1960s.
So, you know, this was predictable. And I predicted this back when Mamdani was having that debate. There was like that big, cross-party debate, and it was on TV. You can go look it up on YouTube. And there was like the question, like, where are you going to go? What's going to be your first international trip if you win the elections to become the mayor of New York? And everybody except Mamdani, that echo is crazy, said that they were going to go. It's getting worse. All of them said they were going to go to New York, except it sounds like feedback from another microphone, like if my car is bugged or something. This is what like feedback sounds like when your car is bugged, or like a spot is bugged and you're getting feedback from the other mic through the speaker system. Interesting. I don't know who would bug my car, but there's definitely I gotta take a look at what that is. There's some sort of speaker or something in the back there, and I'm getting feedback over my mic through that speaker or microphone or whatever it is. It's coming from the back seat. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Anyway, it was predictable that Mamdani was going to win. So, like I was saying, they had this debate and they're saying, where's going to be your first international trip? And everybody said, I'm going to Israel. I'm going to Israel. And Mamdani said, I'm going to go visit the 5 boroughs. He says, I'm going to go visit New Yorkers. And everybody jumped.
Visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't,
Okay.
he
Not
won't
as a
say it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer
that.
was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that very
That's what he was
clearly.
trying to say.
No, unlike
No,
you, I
you
answer,
never-
unlike
you
you, I
never
answer
said
questions
no.
very
Okay.
directly.
All right, I
and
think
I
we're
want to
clear.
be
You
very
answered-
clear. I
you answered-
believe every state should be a state of equal rights.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Everybody
Mamdani.
jumped on him. And both the right and the left, they're tired of Americans, politicians putting Israel first. And so what happened here was one of two things. Now, they said record voter turnout. So I'm going to give you the two options in my opinion. The first option is everybody, both left and right, voted for Mamdani. The second option is the right just stayed home. Now, they said the biggest voter turnout in like forever, or like longest time. So we know both sides turned out. So what happened was, most likely, is that the right voted for Mamdani just like the left. And now they're just out here LARPing online like they didn't vote for him. But it makes sense. The guy, at the time, now we know better. I've been ranting today about this. Now we know better. At the time, the guy was acting like he was America first. And he's like, nah, it's America. I'm not messing around with those small hat dudes. And then what's the first thing he does after he wins the election? Like what, today or yesterday, whatever was it? Yesterday, the 5th. What did he do? Where was he? Homeboy was in the synagogue wearing one of them little hats and a Kabbalah thing on his wrist, one of them Jewish Kabbalah things on his wrist. Photoing him up. He didn't go to the masjid, was like Allahu Akbar, chilling with imams and whatnot and the bros, you know, eating shawarma and smoking shisha and doing the dabka. He didn't do any of that stuff. What did he do? He went straight to them small hats and was hanging out with them doing photo ops. He didn't have to go to Israel. Israel came to him. You gotta admit those small hats are smart. They played everybody. They was like, okay, we're gonna have everybody play that old school role. Everybody's going to Israel, and you're not gonna play that role. But everybody was in their pockets. Everybody was in the small hats' pockets. So no matter who won, the small hats won. So there was like, let's set like the opposite out there, and then let's keep more the same out there. It's like when you've been eating spaghetti. You remember back in the days when you was young and you was broken, so you ate like spaghettis. They had these like little spaghetti packs back when I was a kid. Not when I was a kid, but when I called myself a kid, when I was 18. And a spaghetti pack was like 50 cent, 50 like D-Mark cents. It wasn't even euros. It was like Deutschmark. Things were like practically free, and it came with a little like package of like a sauce and some noodles, and all you had to do was like just or it was a dry packet of sauce, and you had to mix everything up. You boil the noodles, and you had like a spaghetti meal, and it was actually pretty good. You could fill 2 people up with it. One little package for like 50 cents, and you can't get that for that price no more. Inflation. Anyway, the point is, I used to eat that a lot, and man, then sometimes you get that little break off, and you're happy, and you go out and you buy like burgers, this, and pizza, and all sorts of stuff that you couldn't afford at the time because you was young. That's what they did. They just flashed something different in front of you. You've been eating pizza for years, and then they just like, oh, check this out. Here's that lasagna. Here's that hamburger. Here's that steak. They just put something different in front of people. I'm not saying Mamdani is some luxury food. I don't like the guy. I'm just saying all they had to do was give you a bunch of the same and then put something different in front of them, and everybody went for it. So it's not a surprise this guy won. It was predictable he was going to win. But even if he didn't win, who won? The small hats won. New Yorkers didn't win. Mamdani didn't win. The Republicans didn't lose. The small hats won. And the small hats would have won if the Republicans won. And the Democrats wouldn't have lost. The small hats would have won. So, man, anybody who doesn't see that this is all theater, You're not going to make it, man. You're not going to make it if you didn't see this was all theater. And you know what's going to happen? This is going to continue to happen. We're in the most right-leaning of times that we will see for the next 50 plus years. The entire West is leaning very strongly right. I mean, yeah, right. And you know what's going to happen? The left is going to keep making progress and wins. And everybody's going to be like, how? Why? Because the right keeps defeating themselves. These are the guys, look at their narratives and how stupid they are. I've made enough videos on how dumb they are. These guys are pros at snatching. That thing is like annoying me so much that I'm having a hard time focusing. But they're so good at like snatching defeat from the jaws of victory that I don't even know what to say anymore.
I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Mamdani's win coming despite an earlier threat from President Donald Trump to withhold money from the city in the eventuality that he won. Reuters correspondent Maria Tvetskova is in New York.
He definitely managed to bring some voters back to the Democratic Party. They spoke with voters all day at both sides. One of them was an immigrant from Bangladesh who came to New York City decades ago. He voted for Trump in the presidential election. And now Trump disappointed him, first of all, by the tariffs. He realized that he eventually pays a higher price for goods. And he saw a promise in what Mamdani offered people, affordability.
So there you go. I was right. It is the speakers. I can hear. So when I turn this down, no, it doesn't. So anyway, I was right. So the guy was a Republican, voted for Trump. And then what did he do? He voted for Mamdani. I told you, Republicans came out and they voted for Mamdani. He's a Bangladeshi. That means he's in New York. He probably owns like a bodega or something. He owns some sort of shop, right? Because he's talking about like tariffs affecting prices and everything. So most Bangladeshis, they tend to open businesses and, run stuff on their own. So there you go. He doesn't want socialism. He ran a business. He's an immigrant who most likely runs a business or ran a business. That guy is far from a socialist. He doesn't want any leftist socialist policies. But Trump and the right, what are they doing? They're alienating with their pro-Israel first, America second, if second policies. They're alienating their base, and anybody who's even remotely nationalist. Hey, I'm going to stay in America. I'm not going to fly to Israel. Everybody's going to vote for that guy. Both sides. So there you go. I was right.
Bo says it's too soon to say what these results mean for the midterms next year.
They don't really give away the whole story of what can happen next year, because in Trump's Washington, a lot happens in just in the arm for Democrats who are trying to find momentum after losing the White House to President Trump. But to be sure,
all the Democrats have to do is nothing.
To try to discount any sort of moderate wins here from the Democrats tonight. Some Republican leaders in Congress have already dismissed, quote, Commie Mamdani. So we are really expecting.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem.
Ahead of next year's.
You see, they're dismissing Mamdani, but he won. And they're not looking at how he won. He didn't even have a tactic. What was Mamdani's tactic? It was terrible. Look at the dude's campaign. It was horrible. But all he had to do was not say anything stupid. The entire plan that the left needs to follow right now is not doing anything stupid. That's all they have to do. Nothing more, nothing less, and they're going to win. Because the right is doing everything wrong. They are so far, their head is so jammed, so deep up Israeli butt, that they don't realize nobody wants to come and be close to them when your head is stuck up someone else's butt. But, you know, they're going to say, oh, it's this, oh, it was that, oh, it's because the people want free stuff. No, people just want you to stop giving all of their stuff to Israel and to stop acting like Israel takes some sort of precedence over America. But they won't do it. And here's the thing. Like I said, they got hoodwinked. Because who was the first person that Mamdani went and visited in New York after he won?
Election to use Mamdani's popularity to try to paint more moderates as extreme.
And in California, voters have decided to give Democratic lawmakers the power to redraw the state's congressional map. It may help Democrats flip several seats in the House of Representatives, all part of a wider gerrymandering battle across the country.
There's no battle.
I spoke with Reuters correspondent in Carlsbad, California, Daniel Trotter.
This means
it's not a battle. The right is defeating itself. There's no battle.
Democrats are fighting back. For a long time, Republicans had sort of owned the gerrymandering and redistricting in their states. Legally, of course, they have used their political advantage to advance districts, to redraw districts that favor them at the expense of Democrats. California is fighting back, as it were, by proposing this ballot initiative to redraw districts in California in order to favor Democrats.
This won't be the end of the redistricting battle.
Republicans are already attempting to gerrymander mid-district, mid-cycle, in a number of other states. It's happened in Ohio, North Carolina, Missouri. There's maybe half a dozen other states they're trying to do this in. Democrats, however, don't have as many options.
At least 7 people are dead after a UPS plane crashed on takeoff.
That was a crazy video.
Kentucky. The UPS wide-body cargo plane headed for Honolulu erupted into a fireball moments after it took off. A trail of black smoke in the sky. At least 11 people injured on the ground have been taken to hospital. A market sell-off on Wall Street has investors questioning whether the AI rally has run out of steam. Carmel Crimmins is the host of our sister podcast, Reuters Econ World. Carmel, what has triggered this?
I'm going to predict it's this. Nobody can tell you what AI does in terms of profitability. What is its profitability? How does it make money? I can see how it loses money. People lose jobs to AI bots. And then those people, their spending, it stops or it reduces significantly because they don't have a job. Because everybody's looking for jobs and nobody's getting jobs. Everybody's advertising jobs, but nobody's being hired for these jobs. And so all that money that these new unemployed people stop spending leaves the entire economy. The AI bots that they hired don't spend money. So no matter how you look at it, AI is a net loss. Okay, you save on manpower costs in terms of salaries. We can cut 10 people and replace it with one AI bot. But okay, you got rid of them. Now you pay for your AI bot, however much money that costs you. And then to top it off, there's fewer consumers on the market. And so now everybody's just sort of backing away from AI, like, yeah, you know what? I don't know. I just want to keep making my actual live action cat memes now. I'm not really sure I really want to play with this stuff.
A wake-up call from the CEOs of Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. So they warned this week that markets might be due for a pullback after a massive run-up, and it's triggered underlying concerns about AI valuations. Are they overstretched? The question is, though, is this just a blip, and will we see investors return and buy the dip, as it's called? Or could we be due for a deeper sell-off?
Buy the dip, huh? What's the AI dip? So what's the AI dip? If I buy the dip on Bitcoin, even now, and now it's late in the game, I still know I'm getting to win because what? The general trend of Bitcoin is increased value. So you get a dip here, you buy it, and then you know, like in a year, you're gonna have a higher value next year this time than you did last year this time. That's been the general trend, right? But in AI, where's the dip take you? You buy the dip on AI, and then what happens? Explain that to me, somebody, because I don't get it. I don't see the value in AI. It's cool. It's really cool. I do stuff with AI. I program with it. I do all sorts of stuff with it. It helps me write and whatever else. But like as a daily value in my life type of thing, where it's like I see, like for my company or whatever else, like this amazing future that's AI driven, or I just don't see it, man. So where is it? I don't know. You guys help me understand this. What dip? There's no dip. You want to buy the dip, wait for Bitcoin to go down a bit. Buy that. AI. What's it next year this time, where are you going to be at in your AI dip? Where is this going with AI? All people are using AI to do is like make stupid videos. They make fake videos that push their political and racial ideology and politics and hope nobody notices that it's an AI video. That's what AI is being used for right now. You got a few applications, like I was saying in my other video, medicine and security, but that's not enough to like drive an entire industry. I don't know. Anyway, someone explain it to me because I don't get it.
Well, Kamal, we have a burning markets question of our own, right?
We do, Kim. So people who know the show know that we have a bell to accompany our market segment. Now, it's caused a little bit of consternation on the team. Should we keep it? We have some fans. We have some people who don't like it. We want to hear from you. What do you think? Should the markets bell stay or should it go? We're going to be running a poll on Spotify, so please let us know.
And just quickly, what have you got for us this week on Reuters Econ World?
We're looking into the economics of art heists after that jewellery theft in the Louvre. That pod will be dropping later today, and you can catch it on Reuters.com, Reuters app, or wherever you get your pod.
The economics of art heists. Hey guys, they probably made a bunch of money stealing all that jewelry out of the Louvre. Maybe this should be your future investment plan and employment path. What? What? Okay. Yeah, sure. Tell me how I should possibly go into robbery for my future.
Is facing increased scrutiny after a brutal roundup of accused cartel members left more than 100 people dead, literally lying on the streets of Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, so cartels, as we know in South America, they're like highly violent people. They're known for decapitating like mass graves. There was like one cartel in Mexico. They cut off 72 people's heads. You can look this up on the internet. And they never found the heads. I think these guys are involved in voodoo black magic type stuff too. That's why they took all them heads. I believe this, honestly. So I'm not saying I believe in voodoo black magic, but this is what they do. I think that's what they do with them heads. Them heads have never been found. So anyway, it's like these guys are known for their brutality. They're known for their savagery. So how do you brutally round up people who only understand, who only communicate through brutality? And whose bodies were left in the street? Was it the cartel members? Why are you complaining? This is what they do. This is what they know. What's the whole thing? Live by the sword, die by it? So how... I don't get it. That's like saying... I spoke to a Chinese guy in Chinese because all he understood was Chinese. Yeah, they spoke to these guys with brutality because brutality is the only thing they understand. It's what they use to communicate their strength and their power to peoples and governments. You get out of line and we're going to brutalize you. We're going to cut your head off. We're going to kill your kids, stuff drugs in their body and send it across the border. These are the things they do. These are absolutely vicious and savage people. I'm not trying to get in any sort of trouble with any sort of cartels. It's just the reality. How many people have they killed? How many politicians have they killed? How many police officers have they killed? In sending the message, don't mess with us. So how do you brutally round up people who only speak and communicate through and with brutality? We live in such a clown world.
That as the country is preparing to host the COP30 climate summit this week. Our reporter Lucinda Elliott is covering the fallout.
Lula's really attempting to balance growing international condemnation of this deadly police operation with domestic support for a crackdown on organised crime in Brazil ahead of a presidential election next.
So wait a minute, where's the problem? He has domestic support. So domestic support is there to crack down on them. Why do you care what the rest of the world thinks about? when everybody like goes there on vacation or whatever else, you don't have to live there with the brutal people like they do. So that's probably why the local population is pro-police crackdown, because they have to live in this brutality daily. So if he has local support, what does it matter? I don't think international opinion should matter if the local people are like, yeah, this is what we vote. Don't we see this all the time on X? When you see the right-wing guys, they see ICE deporting people and they say, this is what I voted for. And now the people are saying, this is what we voted for, and everybody's mad at them?
Year. So international observers, UN officials and members of Lula's own left-wing party have raised the alarm over how the police operation was handled, but fresh polling...
So was there any sort of condemnation from these same organizations on how the cartels have dealt with people and police officers and politicians that got in their way or spoke against them? It's like, why is it only when the law actually cracks down and they really crack down, they're like, okay, look, this is enough, man. Y'all can't do this anymore. And they come, hit someone over the head. It's like everything that the criminals did or have ever done, it just gets sort of like, whatever else. Nobody ever says anything about what the criminals do or are doing. They never give constant condemnation. Why? And it's easy to say, oh yeah, because they don't answer to authority, they're not the law or whatever else. Okay, but doesn't that make it worse? It's like, that's not really an excuse. That's a justification to crack down on these guys harder than ever. I don't know, man. This entire conversation sounds crazy.
Suggests quite widespread domestic support for how the police acted.
Okay, where's the problem?
At the same time, Brazil's political right, that very narrowly lost the last presidential race, has moved swiftly to capitalize on the incident. Lula has now said
So the right supports criminals. In Brazil, the right supports criminals going around being criminals and brutalizing the people. But if the government cracks down on the criminals and brutalizes the criminals, the right's like, what is this thing's problem? The right's like, no, we can't do that. The poor criminals. So obviously these guys are friends to each other, and that's why the right there is supporting the criminals. Who would have thought that the left is anti-criminal and the right is pro-criminal? That happens too, apparently. Isn't that something?
will push for an independent probe. He said it was important to see under what conditions it took place and that the authorities had approved for arrest warrants, but not a, quote, mass killing.
Okay, but what are they supposed to do? It's like these guys, again, let's go back to the facts on the ground. Cartels in South America, all across South America, are known for brutalizing people. Like I said, look up the thing on the internet with them killing 72 people and decapitating. So they're known for mass killings as cartels. So when they went with their arrest warrants to arrest the cartel guys, well, you think they was like, oh, dang, yeah, you got me, buddy. Good one. Okay, here you go. Here, put the cuffs on me. No, they started shooting back, or they started shooting. And then the cops started shooting. And then the cops had overwhelming force, obviously, this time around, because it's not always the case. You hear about a lot of cops getting killed down in South America, all across South America. So obviously the cops outgunned them this time, and now everybody's mad. What would have happened if it was reversed? If the cops went down there and the cops got butchered and massacred, what would the international community say? What would be the reaction? I'm curious. Would they say like, hey, we're gonna send in the UN and, fight these guys because they killed a bunch of cops or whatever else? Or, I mean, what would be the reaction? Ridiculous.
The Vatican is clarifying how Catholics view Mary, the mother of Jesus. In the decree approved by Pope Leo, the church says Jesus alone saved humanity and that Mary was not on equal footing. And that while Mary opened the gates of redemption by giving birth to Jesus, she herself is not a redeemer.
No opinion. Leave that woman alone.
Today's recommended read,
that's my opinion.
Take you to Para, the Brazilian state hosting next week's COP30 climate conference, with a story about the past and future of Amazonian mining. There's a link to that story in today's podcast description. For more on any of the stories from today, check out Reuters.com or the Reuters app. Don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast player. If you're listening on a smart speaker, just ask for the latest news from Reuters
Okay,
7 days a week.
so now I am going to try
headline show
and find whatever's making this echo in the back seat. It's right here in the back seat. So it's, where is it? Now it's stopped. It's only when I'm, no. There it is. There it is. Where are you? Hello? Hello? What's making that noise? You son of a... Now it's like really hard to find. Huh? Testing. Hello? Hello? What? I don't know what's making that noise. It's really annoying. It's very, very annoying. Anyway. What about now? Yeah, it's still there. Is it the speakers? Let me open the door. Let's open the door and get the speakers, the power off. So now, is it still there? No, it's not there. See? So it is feedback from the speaker system. But why? There must be some sort of microphone system inside the car that's recording my voice and giving me feedback through the microphone system. Because now that the power's off, the echo that's coming from my voice, it's gone. Man, that is hella annoying. Let's look in the menu. Let's just get the power system on. Let's see. Where would this be? Would it be in sound? Let's see. Sound, focus, center, touchscreen. I've never really gone through this entire system. You know what? I think it's the telephone system then. It has to be the telephone microphone. Air conditioning. Or it's IDA, the little AI bot that's in here. Yeah, it must be something like, so voice enhancer, radio announcer, adjust recording speed, maximum, reduce voice assistant. Let's see, dialogue, sound, newsfeed. No. Yeah, it's the in-car microphone system that's feeding back through the speakers, and I'm not really sure why it's doing that or how to change it. Let's look at settings. HD reject. So it says wireless charging. Huh. I don't know. One report. 12-volt batteries being discharged. Please start the engine. Yeah. Data. Vehicle. Interior. Cockpit. Reset. Long distance driver. Reset trip quarter. No. No, I checked that already. What do we have? Parking, radio media, did I check that? I think I checked this, didn't I? Radio media? No. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. See, now it's not even doing it. Now it's like, it's fine. But the car's back on. But that echo thing is not there, so I'm not really sure what changed or why. It's really weird. Whatever, guys.